Imagine a world of silence and desolation, the air heavy with the stench of decay, the once bustling streets now home only to the shuffling dead. This is not the setting of a new horror film, but rather the chilling reality of a post-apocalyptic world following a zombie apocalypse. In this world of the undead, the silence is deafening. The once vibrant cities teeming with life now lay in ruins. Skyscrapers, once monuments to human achievement, stand as skeletal reminders of a world that once was. The eerie silence is only broken by the occasional guttural growl of a wandering zombie, its eyes devoid of any semblance of humanity. The concept of a zombie apocalypse is a fascinating, albeit horrifying one. It's a scenario where the world as we know it has fallen into utter chaos and despair, brought about by the rise of the undead. These creatures, once humans, are now reanimated corpses with an insatiable hunger for human flesh. They are driven by a primal instinct to feed, and their bite carries with it the terrifying prospect of turning the victim into one of them. The world as we know it would be irrevocably altered. Governments would crumble and societal norms would be thrown out the window. Survival would become the only priority. The luxuries of our current world would become distant memories, replaced by a harsh existence where every day is a fight for survival. Yet this grim reality is not without its lessons. It forces us to question our humanity, our resilience, and our capacity to adapt. Could we retain our sense of self amidst such a horrifying reality? Could we band together, form new societies, and find a way to reclaim our world from the clutches of the undead? This is the world of a zombie apocalypse. It's a terrifying thought, yet one that has captivated our collective imagination for decades. It's a world that forces us to confront our deepest fears and our darkest selves, and yet it's a world that also compels us to imagine the strength of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable adversity. Welcome to the world of the undead, the world of a zombie apocalypse. The concept of zombies, the walking dead, has chilled us to our bones for centuries, but where did this terrifying idea originate from? Believe it or not, the seeds of this nightmarish concept were sown not in the dark corners of a writer's imagination, but in the sun-drenched lands of Haiti. Yes, the origins of the zombie myth are rooted in Haitian folklore, specifically within the belief system of voodoo. Here, a zombie was a deceased individual brought back to life by a sorcerer known as a bokor. Not quite the flesh-eating monsters we're familiar with, but still a chilling thought. As the centuries rolled on, this idea of the reanimated dead evolved and spread, creeping its way into various cultures and their lore. From the Jiangshi of Chinese mythology, the hopping corpses that drain life from the living, to the Draugr of ancient Norse sagas, the undead warriors with superhuman strength, the concept of the zombie took on different forms, each one more unnerving than the last. But it was in the 20th century, with the advent of film and literature, that the zombie truly came into its own. American culture, in particular, embraced the zombie, reinventing it as a metaphor for societal ills. George Romero's seminal 1968 film Night of the Living Dead is a prime example of this, where the zombies represented the widespread fear of nuclear war. Since then, the zombie has become a staple of horror, a creature that embodies our deepest fears and anxieties. From mindless hordes in World War Z to the terrifyingly intelligent undead in I Am Legend, the zombie continues to evolve, reflecting the changing fears of society. Today, the zombie is more than just a monster. It's a symbol of apocalypse, of societal collapse, and of humanity's darkest impulses. It is a mirror held up to us, reflecting our own monstrous potential. From Haitian voodoo to Hollywood horror, the concept of zombies has evolved, each iteration more terrifying than the last. What could cause a zombie apocalypse to occur? Could it be a virus, a mutation, or perhaps something supernatural? This query has been the center of countless movies, books, and late-night conversations. Let's delve into some popular theories. One of the most prevalent theories is a viral infection. Imagine a strain of virus so potent that it can reanimate dead cells, creating a horde of mindless, shambling creatures. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? It's the premise of many a zombie flick. The idea is not entirely far-fetched, considering the existence of real-life parasites that can take over the brains of their hosts. However, the leap from affecting behavior to reanimating the dead is quite a significant one. Next, we have genetic mutations. This theory takes a scientific approach, suggesting that a sudden leap in human evolution or an experiment gone wrong could result in the undead. The world of genetics is still vastly unexplored, and the idea of an unexpected mutation creating zombies is as thrilling as it is terrifying. Then there's the supernatural. This is where we delve into the realm of dark magic and cursed artifacts. The idea of the undead rising due to sinister magic has been around for centuries, rooted in folklore and mythology. It might not have the scientific backing of the previous theories, but it certainly adds an element of mystique and terror to the concept of a zombie apocalypse. And let's not forget the possibility of a combination of these factors: a viral infection that triggers a genetic mutation, a cursed artifact that spreads a deadly virus. The possibilities are as endless as they are horrifying. However, it's important to remember that these are all theories, speculative and unproven. The actual cause of a zombie apocalypse, should one ever occur, could be something entirely different, something beyond our wildest imaginations. Whether it's a deadly virus or dark magic, the cause of a zombie apocalypse remains a matter of speculation and intrigue. So, keep your wits about you and always remember, it's better to be prepared for the zombies that never come than to be unprepared for the ones that do. In a world overrun by the undead, survival becomes the ultimate goal. But how does one survive in a post-apocalyptic world? Tip 1. Find a safe haven. Without a secure shelter, survival is a fleeting dream. Abandoned buildings, fortified homes, or even underground bunkers, if you're lucky enough to find one, can serve as your fortress against the undead. But remember, safety is not just about four walls and a roof. It's about being invisible, being quiet, and being inaccessible to the zombie horde. Tip 2. Secure your sustenance. Water is life and food is fuel. Collect rainwater, purify it if you can. Scavenge for canned goods. They're your best bet for a long shelf life. Learn to forage for edible plants, but be cautious. Not everything green is good for you. Tip 3. Learn to defend yourself. A sturdy weapon can be a lifesaver. Literally, it doesn't have to be a flashy sword or a high-powered rifle. A simple crowbar, baseball bat, or even a kitchen knife can do the trick. But remember, brute force isn't everything. Stealth and speed are equally, if not more, important. Beyond these tips, survival is a mind game. Mental strength is just as crucial as physical strength, if not more. The ability to stay calm under pressure, to think on your feet, to make tough decisions, these are the skills that will keep you alive. But let's not forget the power of community. Humans are social creatures. We thrive on cooperation, on shared knowledge, on mutual support. In the face of a zombie apocalypse, your survival might depend on the people around you. So build alliances, form a group, create a community. Survival in a zombie apocalypse is not just about physical strength, but also about the will to live and the strength of community. Remember, it's not about outliving the zombies, it's about outliving the apocalypse. Let's draw a chilling parallel between the zombie apocalypse and the world of illicit drugs. The stark reality is the effects of drugs on individuals can be horrifyingly similar to the transformation brought about by a zombie apocalypse. The parallel isn't hard to draw. Illicit drugs can turn people into zombies, metaphorically speaking. They become detached from reality, their lives revolving around the pursuit of their next fix. This relentless craving, this unending hunger, mirrors the relentless hunger of the zombies we've been discussing. Substance abusers often lose their sense of self, their ability to connect with the world around them. They may exhibit erratic behavior, their minds clouded by the substances they've ingested. They become shells of their former selves. The drug taking over, much like the virus takes over in a zombie apocalypse. And what about the physical effects? We've all seen the ravages of drug abuse, the gaunt faces, the hollow eyes. The physical deterioration parallels the decay we associate with the undead. It's a slow, painful process, a transformation from the living to something much less so. Then there's the societal impact of drug abuse. It's a widespread issue affecting communities and families. It's a creeping epidemic, spreading its grip much like a zombie outbreak would. It's insidious, it's destructive, and it's very, very real. And the worst part, unlike the fictional zombie apocalypse, the world of illicit drugs isn't confined to the realm of horror movies and novels. It's happening here, now, in our cities and towns, in our neighborhoods. Survivors in a zombie apocalypse fight against the undead, striving to reclaim their world. Similarly, we must battle against the scourge of drug abuse, helping those ensnared to reclaim their lives. In a way, the world of illicit drugs is its own zombie apocalypse, turning people into the living dead. The fight against it is every bit as crucial as any battle against a horde of flesh-eating zombies would be. The zombie apocalypse, a terrifying prospect, but one that fascinates us. It's a concept born from our darkest fears, possibly triggered by a myriad of causes, from unknown viruses to nuclear fallout. Survival in such a world demands resourcefulness and an intimate knowledge of the land. In a haunting parallel, the devastation wrought by illicit drugs mirrors the zombie apocalypse, transforming lives into hollow shells. Whether it's the world of the undead or the world of illicit drugs, both serve as chilling reminders of the darker sides of our existence.